Did you have a good meal today?
Check.
You hydrated?
Check.
You got those electrolytes?
Double check. I've been drinking some Gatorades and quite a few body armors.
Okay. How about extra protein bars just in case?
Check.
Your sipper beers, 3.5% ABVs?
Yes, check.
Ready to get it done for the next 2 hours?
Yes, I say let's go ahead and kick it.
Well, hey out there, and welcome to another installment of the greatest, the most remarkable, the absolute best way to pass a couple of hours while getting your wisdom teeth taken out, while going through a fully awake colonoscopy, or perhaps while a rabid wolf slowly eats you from the ankles up. If you happen to be doing anything more pleasant than those atrocities, there are probably better ways that you could be spending your time. But if you insist on listening to us, man, we're glad that you're here. Welcome to Fraternize with These Guys podcast. I'm your co-host, Pastor Pinewood, and across from me today is your other co-host, totally sober.
Totally tober beezy.
kind of the talk of the town this week, buddy.
Yeah, no, it's been fun.
It was great. Now we're going to talk about it towards the end of the episode because we actually got a question about it for you to explain.
Yes,
like exactly what happened.
Yeah,
but it was pretty incredible, I have to say.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Probably not as much as you did.
You know what? In all fairness, I did not enjoy it in the moment. I was a little aggravated in the moment, but it was late. We were both tired anyway.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing any of this again.
I was a little drunk my own self.
Shut it down. We'll go to the house. But it was good times.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it.
41 episodes in the books.
Yep.
On to 42.
Yes.
Onward and upward.
Ever onward, ever upward.
And I think because of fan interaction this week, we've got a pretty dang good episode.
We've got a solid couple questions coming in. We've got a bunch of updates. Yep. So, I mean, it's been a great week.
Been a good week.
Couple weeks, actually.
Yeah.
So good, in fact, that I'm even testing out some new Colt shoes.
Yeah, bro, what the heck are you talking about?
So I'm calling them my Hubbards.
Your Hubbards.
Yeah. So the brand is L Run. So
L Run Hubbard?
L Run Hubbards. I figured if you're gonna have a Colt, you might as well have a good shoe to go with it.
Dude, that's genius. L Run
Hubbards.
Okay, so the logo doesn't spell out. Well, yeah, it does. It just got
has
a big
the
L.
Yeah, and then R.
Okay, all right.
R-U-N.
The L Run Hubbards.
The run is going through halfway through the L.
Now tell us, what are the purpose of these shoes? Because they look ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. So I bought these shoes. They're swim shoes. And I bought
they're what?
They're swim shoes, like water shoes. So you take them to the beach.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I bought these when
I was like, they're flippers?
when me and the wife went to the Bahamas.
Okay.
A handful of years back. And I wore them a ridiculous long time. Pre and post.
As you would in the Bahamas, right?
I mean, yeah.
But then you wore them when you
every
got back.
day in the Bahamas.
But then you came home.
Yeah, dude. And they're so freaking comfortable. I love them. So I just started wearing them, and then I lost them. I don't know where they went, and I found them like last week, and I've been wearing them ever since.
Coincidentally, if you were in a cult as a child, and you lost your faith in the cult, and then at some point as an adult you found it again,
yeah, exactly.
It's a very similar story to your shoe.
I'm telling you, this is the perfect shoe for the podcast.
So we got cult shoes, bro.
We got cult shoes.
So I have to get me some L Run Hubbards.
You got to get some L Run Hubbards.
L Run Hubbards. See, I'm gonna have to be careful about that because L Ron's gonna sue us for copyright infringement.
For sure.
Now, if I get my L Run Hubbards, do I also get a planet? Because that's kind of the deal with them.
No, you don't. These are just the shoe. But I tell you what, if you're going to go ahead and foot the bill for... foot the bill.
Oh, man. That's brilliant.
For some L Run Hubbards.
Okay.
You might as well just throw in the $20 to become a life shipper.
Nice.
And
so you get your L Run Hubbards.
And you got your space on the life ship.
You got your seat on the life ship.
Exactly.
You're already ready to go.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Full-blown cult members. FWTG podcast.
Yes. If you don't have them, you got to go out and get them.
Stamp of approval from the Baptist pastor.
Yeah. I'm giving them a test run,
Okay.
if you will.
Jeez, man. They just keep coming. They just keep on coming.
Yes. So, but good times, man. I've really enjoyed these.
All right.
My wife thinks they look ridiculous.
Well, they do kind of look ridiculous, but most Colts kind of look ridiculous. So I'm with it.
Yeah.
Hey, I got another one.
All right.
If you don't follow suit, we'll give you the boot.
Hey.
All right, man. Well, welcome to our new cult of the L Run Hubbards
L Run
/
Hubbards.
Life Shippers.
Yes.
And by the way, if you join as a life shipper, we will read you your very own horoscope every single month. You get from either Pinewood or Beezy.
That's right.
And it's pretty lengthy, like a couple paragraphs worth. And it'll last you a whole month. It'll tell you everything to do. And you take that as fact, as truth in your life. You apply it.
Exactly.
And then you pay us more money and you'll get an extra level.
Yeah.
And you pay us more money and you'll get an extra level.
And here's the deal. We're not wanting you just to be the only one. If you could find 2 people to sign up, and then you can get those 2 people to find 2 people to sign up, you basically have a beautiful pyramid, like a triangular.
Like a triangle. It's not a pyramid.
It's not a pyramid because we don't have all the round. I mean, we're the founders. So, I mean, of course, we're going to be at the top of this triangle. And then trickle down. We got a trickle down economy.
Okay.
So then if you go out and you add 2 people and they add 2 people and they add 2 people, you don't get any benefits from it, but we're adding people to our live ship, which is great. So
it's like trickle down Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, trickle down Jesus economy.
Triangle scheming it for triangle, not scheme. We got to stick.
And if your name is Ponzi, you're not allowed in. Sorry. You're just really going to throw some dirt on our workings.
That's fair. I like it so far.
Yes, sir.
All right. All that's nonsense, by the way.
Yes,
just joshing you. Let's get out of this.
Or are we?
I mean, probably can't make you meet John Travolta or anything, but we could throw in some extra perks.
Well, yeah, we could.
50% off merch. That's a pretty good perk.
That's a pretty solid perk.
By the way, the vegan cat shirt
Yes.
is the tits.
Yeah, I know.
It is a great shirt.
You did such an amazing unboxing on your TikTok video.
Yeah.
I loved that one.
So I wear that shirt probably every day when I get home.
Nice.
Yep. Take a shower, get all the grime off, and then vegan cat comes on.
Beauty.
It's a good one. Well, I tell you what, let's do, because it's fall and I'm feeling it's not chilly, but it's definitely cool. I can feel it in my bones.
Feeling in the bones there.
We're going to do something special for libations, not only this week, but probably for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think we discussed this of course, I was a little drunk for 41. I think we talked about it in 41 and in 40 maybe, how we're going to try and do we're going to run out September and all of October.
All right.
And we're going to do spiced beers or Oktoberfest beers.
Yeah, pumpkins.
Or pumpkins.
All right, well, let's get on to libations.
All right. Libations! In this episode, our libations library is coming from St. Arnold.
Now, we haven't done St. Arnold.
We have not. And the biggest reason why we haven't is because everything that I have seen from these guys is an IPA.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to do an IPA.
Because they're a great brewery.
Well, this is the first brew that we have found that is not an IPA. And this is actually the St. Arnold Oktoberfest. And their website, if you go to their website, it's starnold.com. You can click on their seasonal beers, and this is their Oktoberfest. It's available from August to October, and they say it is a full-bodied, malty, slightly sweet beer celebrating the autumn harvest. This rich beer has a round malt flavor and an above-average alcohol content, perfect for a cool fall evening.
Nice.
St. Arnold Oktoberfest is best consumed at 40 degrees Fahrenheit. The recommended pairings, which is nice that they put this on here.
Yes, it is.
Crispy potato cakes.
What's a potato cake?
I got nothing. I'm gonna
Like a
assume
flapjack?
maybe like that, or maybe like a spud nut.
A what?
You never heard of spud nut?
No.
It's like a potato donut.
Okay.
They're tasty.
I've heard of Sputnik.
No,
It's like the Russian satellite.
It's a spud nut. It's
Okay.
good. Okay, so crispy potato cakes, roasted turkey, and spicy sausages.
Oh, nice. Feels like we're in Fredericksburg.
Yeah, I know. This comes in at 6.6% ABV and a 14 on the IBUs, which I am excited that it's that low.
Yeah, that's right up your alley.
So why don't we go ahead and crack these puppies, and we'll just give it a go-ski.
Let's do it to it.
I mean, on the nose, it doesn't smell bad. I don't smell a whole lot of spices to it. You definitely taste a lot of the spices.
So look, I'm a fan of Oktoberfest beers. I'm
Yep.
a fan of fall spice beers, pumpkin spice beers. I like all of it.
Sure.
I think I like this style of beer, this time period, maybe more than any other. The summer, the shandies, the spring, any
yeah.
of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I
Definitely
agree.
more than the winter ales. So I'm already digging it. I think it is full bodied. It definitely has that presence to it. It's all there. I like the alcohol content is up there a little bit, so it's not light and airy.
And you definitely get that roasted flavor.
Yep. And I also like the fact that it's not a porter and it's not a stout.
Exactly. So it's not gonna sit like a concrete truck.
Correct. Yeah, I think it would be a very good pairing beer.
Yeah.
Or you could pair it with a lot of different things.
I'd like to pair it with another beer.
Well, we'll have to probably do that by the end of the night. So interesting story about St. Arnold. So the reason they call it that is he's the patron saint of brewmasters. And so if there's any reason to join the Catholic Church,
I mean, that's a solid reason right there.
I can't think of another one, but there's at least one. And I didn't know these guys were located in Texas.
Yeah, they're Houston.
I was not aware of that. The first beer I ever tried from theirs was the Lawnmower.
Yeah.
And the only reason I got it was almost as a gag.
Because you're going to go mow the lawn?
No, because I was gonna bring it to a party, and I thought, well, that's the dumbest name I could find in the whole store, the Lawnmower. But it's delicious.
Yeah.
So
That's the IPA, correct?
Yeah, ish. I think it's just an ale.
Okay.
So, but like a pale ale.
Sure.
Their IPAs are great. This is really good.
I am certainly not opposed to it, and I was, being St. Arnold, I was not having high hopes for it.
Right.
But it is thoroughly impressed.
And it's not bitter?
No, not at all. And I think that's where that 14 comes in.
For sure.
Now I'm getting a little bit of the spicy as it kind of goes down.
It's there for sure.
It's there, but it's not just overly prominent, which I think is another nice touch. It's very subtle, a very cohesive flavor.
Yep.
What do you feel? Oh, we got a jam band going on outside, I guess.
I thought that was one of those one-man bands that just walk around outside for a second.
Sound like a little marching band. Yeah, that's good
What's
stuff.
wrong with your car? What's wrong with your car?
See. Where are you feeling like for a rating on this, bub?
So I'm going to put it in the high B's.
Okay.
So 86 for me.
86.
It does lose a little bit because it's so my go-to Oktoberfest, more nostalgia than actual taste, is the Sam Adams.
Okay.
So it's cheap for one.
Yeah.
You can find it everywhere in August, so it's usually the first one that hits the shelves.
Yep.
And it's super light, and I always use this term, and I don't mean to because it's not really a technical term for beer. It's bouncy. It's fallish.
Spongy?
Not spongy. The opposite of spongy. But it's got a little bit of, I don't know another word.
I like these R motions.
I'm trying to come up with something.
It's like round chesticles, like
Yeah.
over the shoulder boulder holders.
Chesticles doesn't work either. Bouncy is closer than chesticles.
Okay.
But anyway, this one's a little heavier than that. Now, I do like that it is higher ABV.
Yes.
That gives it a little more heft, and I like the way beer tastes. I want to taste beer.
Sure.
And those higher ABVs, they deliver. So Sam Adams, Shiner Oktoberfest, Leinenkugel Oktoberfest, they just don't taste beer enough to me. So I like it a lot. I think it could use a touch more spice, and also, I don't know, there's just something else that I'm missing from it. But it is very good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you on that one. I'm going to give this guy an 81 just because, man, when I think Oktoberfest, I really want more spice in there.
Okay.
I really do. Oh, good save there, Captain. So if you heard a lot of fumbling around, Pinewood just dropped his stogie.
Speaking of bouncy,
that was quite bouncy.
it just bounced right out of the ashtray.
So, the price point it's right there.
Yeah,
pretty
$10,
average,
right?
$10 for a 6-pack.
Right.
So, good points on that one. It's not overly carbonated. It does have a good flavor, and that's why I'm going to go with a B because it's a low B.
And they're Texas boys.
And they're Texas boys. That's always that's where instead of getting an 80, they're getting an 81 because they're Texas boys.
You bump them up one.
You get 1 extra point because you're for being in Texas.
Nice.
So.
All right, well, let's get out of libations. If you can't find these guys in your store, you should be able to. They got national distribution. You should be able to find these guys, but you can't go to their website and order. You'll have to figure out if that's legal in your state. I was informed that it differs by state.
Yes.
And so you'll just have to kind of figure that out on your own. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get out of libations and go into a little four questions. Four questions is going to be a little bit different this week and in a good way.
Yeah, very good way.
So typically we have to go find ridiculous questions online that we can joke about.
Yes.
And we still going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
On number 3 and 4. Mm-hmm. But the first 2 questions actually coming in from our
listeners.
From some of the old originals.
Some OGs.
Not originals OGs, but I'm saying old originals because they're old.
Yeah, they are old.
They're getting up there.
Well, I'm not even going to say nothing about Nicole. She's liable to shoot us.
I know her enough that I can joke about her a little bit.
Okay.
But not a lot. I'm not going to joke a lot.
I'm not going to call her old. I'm putting my foot down right now. I ain't saying that, Nicole. Leo.
All right,
wasn't me.
Nicole, all your hate needs to be directed over here at Old Pinewood.
Send all the hate mail to Pinewood.
Brady, on the other hand, we both hate you, so you just figure out how you want to play that. Well, the first question is from Brady.
Yes.
And he sent in a
voice message.
Okay. Are we going to hear from him?
We're going to hear Brady Son's voice message and go.
Hey, this is Brady. I got a question for you guys. Probably pretty common knowledge. I'm sure everybody at this point knows how this works, and I'm just the ignorant one who hasn't figured it out yet. But how does the Star Trek Enterprise travel at warp speeds and not drop out or hit planets or suns or anything while they're traveling? Just kind of what's going around in my head right now.
All right. What state of mind are you in, bro?
It's a very inquisitive state of mind. He fell asleep watching The Next Generation, I guess.
He wakes up out of a dream. He's like, how did they not run into a sun?
I mean, logically, when they come out of warp speed, they should be like in the middle of a planet.
I mean, technically, not even technically, if you're playing the numbers game, you're going to hit something.
I mean,
you just go barreling through outer space.
So here's the deal. Brady texted me and asked me this question.
Before he sent the message?
Before he sent the voice message.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I mean, do you just want to hear my nonsense, off-the-cuff expertise on this question? Or
you claim to have expertise in the Star Trek realm?
Let me finish.
Okay.
So he goes, yeah, tell me what you think. So he sent me the link, and he found this question on Quora. So he read through all the answers, and I gave him basically a bullshit answer.
Okay.
And I said, well, how did my answer fare?
So you gave the answer before he read you the other answers.
Before he read me the answers, okay. I gave him my answer.
All right.
And he said, well, I don't know how you did it, but that was basically verbatim.
Whoa,
the correct answer.
You know what it was? It was the L. Ron Hubbards.
It was the L. Ron Hubbards. I channeled the L. Ron Hubbards.
they spoke right through you, bro.
It was good stuff. So basically, what I came up with on the fly was when you are going into a warp speed, what's happening is it's atomizing everything in that vicinity. So it's the size of an atom.
You mean your ship?
Yeah, everything inside the ship is atomized.
What?
And then launched at an ungodly fast speed. So when you combine the size and the speed, then you know, hey, we're good to go. We can pass through. They're literally passing through asteroids because they're so small. So
they do hit stuff. It's just that they go through.
No. They don't hit nothing. They
you
go
just
through
said they go
everything.
through it.
They go through it.
Okay, so they go
So
through
they're
it, but
going
they don't hit
through
it.
it because they're so small. It's not affecting anything. So they're just plowing right through it because they're so small and so fast. It's not even affecting them.
Are you telling me that the little yellow school bus from when we were a kid, like that story?
The magic school bus?
Yeah. When they'd go through time when they got really, really small. That was like some sort of theoretical physics manifesting itself in that show. Like there was some sort of actual truth to it.
I mean, there very well could be. Very well could be.
So Brady found answers, and the answers were
basically what I just said.
Really.
And whenever one of the other really in-depth, it was a huge Trekkie put this answer on there.
Well, yeah.
But basically, he surmised that the reason they don't do that is because when they go into warp, they have a projected spot where they're supposed to land.
Okay,
so
right.
They're still able to slightly navigate things in warp. So, I mean, not to get technical, but that's where we're at on that one. So it's too small and it's too fast to
hit anything. Okay. Can I give you my answer?
Yes.
There is no amount of any number of bones in my body that care one iota about this question. There is no atom inside of me that cares at all. I could give two rats' asses rubbed together about this particular question.
Well, see, here's the deal. If you were to go fast enough and be small enough, you could run straight through both the cracks of them rats' asses and not touch nothing.
Well, I mean, I have never given any kind of thought to a fictional
speeds.
It's interesting for sure, but I've never devoted any kind of brain power to that. Maybe I should.
You should.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I literally.
That's why I know more than you.
Okay, well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but definitely worthless things.
I mean, well, there is that. there is a veritable wealth of useless knowledge
wrapped up in old Beezy,
encapsulated in this meat shell.
All right. Of those two universes, I've always been more of a Star Wars guy than a Star Trek guy.
Agreed.
And you know, I've gone back and I've tried to watch some, especially the series, not necessarily the movies so much, but some of the series. And they're pretty good. I mean,
for the most part, like we started. Oh gosh, this is a while ago. We tried to get into start over the next generation.
Yeah, all the way back.
Oh, dude,
it's rough, isn't it?
We only got like 2, maybe 3 episodes. I was like, ugh, right. I don't have the patience.
Now, I don't know if I could do it now and go back and enjoy it, but I really enjoyed Voyager when it came out. So I was a younger dude, and
now that's the one.
The lady at the helm.
Yeah, so you know who that lady is, right?
I don't guess so.
I'm pretty sure that's the lady that plays Red from Orange is the New Black.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Interesting. Well, I thought it was good then. If I went back and watched it now, maybe not.
Well, it's the same thing with like Stargate.
Right.
I went back and watched that, and I was like, wow, this really, it has its moments where it's really good.
Right.
And then it has some moments that are like, oh, wow, this was a far-reaching episode. They just ran out of content.
Doesn't really hold up very well. All right. Well, I think we've given Brady a pretty good answer. I'd like to hear y'all's theories if you have any other theories, especially Nick. Now, I know Nick, crazy Nick out there, he has some theories about this because we mentioned it. I have lunch with him about once every other week.
Okay.
And we were talking about something like this not too long ago.
And you said, I don't really care. Nick.
Kinda.
Sorry.
Kinda. Definitely got to that point. And I was like, we need to come back to talking about sweet tea because that's what we were talking about. You went off into theoretical physics, and I have not a bone in my body, again, cares about that. But anyway. All right. Well, how about question numero dos?
Numero dos.
Before we get there, let's just pause it real quick. I'm going to edit that out.
Okay. So question numero dos is coming in from Nicoleo Leo.
That's why we said dose.
Yeah, el dos. El dos.
And we'll also be hearing from Nicole in the latter part of the episode in our updates.
Yes, that is correct.
All right, so what's the question?
So Nicole wants to know, what is the dumbest way you've been injured? Any drunken bar fights, stupid shenanigans, crazy dares? I feel like there has to be at least one stupid injury for each of you.
Well, coincidentally, I have never really injured myself. So the worst injury that I can remember is one I spoke about here a couple of weeks ago. Well, it's been a couple of months, actually, where I talked about running to the tree playing football.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably the worst. But then I've got another one I'll tell because it involves you.
Well, it wouldn't be a good injury if it didn't involve me.
And really, I didn't hurt myself, but the memory of the episode has lasted this long.
Has tested the sands of time.
And probably will continue to go through the sands of time.
Nice.
So what it was, we were at a house that you and I used to be roommates in our college heyday.
Yes.
And
the old foster house.
Yeah, we call it the foster house, and not because we're foster kids, it's because we lived on Foster Avenue.
Yep.
So we had been drinking pretty much most of the day at this point. We're getting into the evening time, and we were going to have some folks over, or we did have some people over. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think we had a few over. So we're kind of in that loosey-goosey realm, and things are getting loud. Things are getting a little crazy, right, as college parties do. And something happened. Now, we had a pretty big living room.
Yeah.
And we had a couch spread out in the middle of the living room so we were closer to the television to play 360 on.
Correct.
Maybe an original Xbox at that point.
It was the original Xbox.
So we had the couch, and it was pulled away from the wall in the middle of the room. So there was a pretty good space behind it between the couch and the wall.
Yes.
Probably about 10 foot or so.
Yeah, roundabouts.
And I remember I was in the hallway looking back into the living room, and you said something, and it just triggered me.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I have a tendency to
I don't know why
do
I got
that.
mad. I got mad about something, and it was kind of like a goofy mad. It's like, oh, you SOB, I'm going to get you, that sort of thing.
Sure.
So in my stupor at the moment, I decided the best course of action was to run at fairly high speeds across the living room floor, to lunge like a tiger or a baby bobcat, whatever you want to think about, lunge over the couch and tackle you because you were on the other side of the couch.
Yes.
Okay. So I did that, and my brain's working out well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Mid-lunge, old Beezy just simply steps out of the way, and instead of allowing me just to fall on the other side of the couch, you actually added some downward thrust with your hands on my back.
I assisted your descent.
You like Goldberg body slammed me behind the couch into the floor.
Yeah.
And I did not suffer any kind of permanent damage. At least I don't think so. We'll find out in 50 years when my spleen goes out.
Yeah.
But I definitely lost my breath, and I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I completely forgot. So I'm glad that you remembered me for that one.
It's a great story. and I distinctly remember being mid-flight and realizing that you had moved.
Oh, no.
And it was like, no, this is not going to end well at
My
all.
calculations are off.
If I just could have slipped into warp speed and become an atom, I could have surprised you a little bit. But apparently, my tiger-like reflexes aren't fast enough.
Weren't as good as you thought. That's hilarious.
I would love to go back to some of those instances and be a fly on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Man, we were dumb, but we were hilarious.
Yeah, we still are. Still are pretty dumb.
Yeah, for the most part, you're right.
But
Pretty dumb.
I mean, to be a fly on the wall here in the doghouse.
30 years from now, we'll be like, ugh, bad times, bro.
I can't believe our wives allowed us to do this.
Now, you've hurt yourself significantly more than I have.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am significantly more adventurous in my life. So
Adventurous or stupid?
Well, I mean, tomato, potato.
Carrots and carrots.
Beans, greens, carrots, and carrots,
Oh, by the way, before we go on, so we went back and listened to the early TikTok on the Fraternize with These Guys page, and you have that clip.
Yes.
And the original is beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Yes.
Right? And then you couldn't say it, and it was beans, geens, parrots and carrots. So it was hilarious.
Yeah.
My wife listened to it, and I was listening to it with her, and I could have swore instead of that you said Ed Gein, parrots and carrots.
Oh.
which would have been hilarious also.
No, I didn't say it. That'd have been good though.
Good. So in the future we
We'll
got
have
to
to
record
edit
another
that
one.
Re-record it.
Yeah, Ed Gein.
We'll fix it in post.
If you don't know who Ed Gein is, don't go look him up.
I mean, unless you got some time and you're into serial killers.
You want to stay up a little bit at night thinking, oh my God.
I recommend not delving into that research at night.
Yeah. Him and Albert Fish, probably stay away from both of those guys.
Yeah, both of them is pretty
All right,
rough.
let's bring it back. So your
Okay.
self-injuries here.
Assisted injuries.
Okay. All right.
So, I think the only time I've gotten into a fight, and I wouldn't even really call this a fight, because I got punched in the face and
Did it
got
stop
knocked
there?
out.
Oh, well, dang, son, really?
Oh yeah, it was a linebacker for Texas Tech,
Wow.
and I had some choice words with his girlfriend
Ooh.
because she was kind of a see you next Tuesday.
Gotcha.
And I said that.
Hey, thanks for cleaning that up, bro. Appreciate you not
Yeah.
just broadcasting
Blurting it
that
out.
on the
Yeah.
podcast.
So he didn't take too kindly to that one, which was weird because, I mean, afterwards he kind of agreed and he goes, I'm sorry, but
That's hilarious. You'll talk
mean-
after he knocked you out?
after he knocked me out.
So you insult his girlfriend, he knocks you out, and then y'all are like buddies after that?
well, I mean, that's how guy fights usually work anyways.
Guys are the best,
I
man.
know, right? So that's actually why I have this scar right here because
Dude, that's awesome.
it was his class ring and it just clocked me good.
Thanks, son.
Split that guy wide open.
Yeah, right under your left eye?
Yeah, bled all over the place.
Beauty. Was it your
Yeah.
house?
No, it was a friend's
better.
house.
Even better. Didn't have to clean it up. All right.
Exactly. So there's that one, and then of course, like you've already touched on, we got the Thanksgiving football, and pretty much every time I go and do that, I injure myself because I'm not 18, 19, 20 anymore.
That's how old men injure themselves. They try to act like young men.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how that works.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we've got that injuries, and then there was one time, oh gosh, this was probably 10, 12 years ago. I was allegedly drunk, and I had a blowout on my car.
Okay.
And the front passenger tire just shredded.
Okay.
And blew out the fenders and all that crap. So
Okay.
it was a big deal. So I pull off on the side and I'm frustrated and pissed
Drunk.
ish, maybe, allegedly.
Yes.
And my course of action, I was like, I got to punch something. So, I mean, this side of the car is already jacked. So I'm going to punch the passenger window.
Nice.
Those things are resilient, bro. I hit that thing full bore and instantly shattered my wrist.
Dang, son, what were you thinking was going to happen?
My instinct was I'm gonna punch this thing and it's
Break
gonna
the glass.
shatter
like the movies.
like in the movies. Nope, definitely did not do that.
Held its own, huh?
Yeah, it did, and
All
I
right.
actually went for like 2 weeks before I went to the doctor.
Dang.
Until it just got to the point where it was just unbearable. My hand was swollen up, and I went to the doctor, and she's like, when did this happen? I was like, maybe 2 weeks ago. She goes,
nice.
why are you just now coming in? You're
Okay.
an idiot.
So you broke it.
Oh, I broke it. And it's actually called a boxer's fracture.
Nice.
So I had it was coincidentally, I had my arm in the cast that year we went to Colorado with Panda and the parrot and the
Right.
parrot.
Right. Good times.
And
On your right hand.
yeah, my right hand, and I'm right-handed, so I
Right.
had to figure out how to fly fish with my left hand.
Right.
And I outfished everybody.
Shenanigans.
Nope.
Definitely shenanigans on that.
No. I was sober enough to remember that trip.
I remember the only fish you caught on that trip.
Dude, that's not even true at all.
There was just one fish. There was only one fish that counted.
Oh, you're talking about the very first trip.
Well, you had a cast that year too.
No.
No cast?
No.
So
That's the only time I've ever had a cast was that one year.
So you were totally 100% all together and you sucked it up that bad the first year.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And then you had a bum wrist and you outfished everybody like
Yes.
a year later?
I think it was two or 3 years later.
Shenanigans, bro.
No, it's not.
All right.
We've got proof. We'll get Panda to call in and the parrot to call in.
Well, I know whose
and
side they're going to take. But
mine.
Typically, BZ has delusions of grandeur, but, sometimes that re-editing of history comes up in some of these recollections. But I will say, I had probably the best time I've ever had in Colorado that trip.
Yeah, that was a fun trip.
Because you were doing like the making your brain think a different way in order to fish.
Yeah.
Panda he cooked for us like 4 times.
Yeah.
So we ate well.
Oh, yeah.
We had a great cabin. Mm-hmm. The reservoir that year was beautiful. We caught fish every day.
Every single
Wind
day.
didn't blow. And Pahara wasn't even annoying the whole time.
I know.
It was great.
I mean, could you ask for a better vacation?
No, you literally couldn't ask for
Literally couldn't ask for a better vacation.
Really good times. All right, so we had 2 questions from user submits. I think we've answered both.
Yeah.
And as always, if you send us a question, you can send it via email at theseguysquestions@gmail.com. And also you can go to our website, fwtgpodcast.com, and you can I think you can send us a voicemail or an email through the website.
Yes, emails through the website can be done there. And this was just brought to my attention to send us a voicemail. It is no longer a blue circle in the bottom right-hand corner with a microphone in it.
Ooh, they updated?
It's now red.
Oh, wow.
So
apparently they got enough people like, hey, where the heck is this stupid circle at?
Where's this thing at? So it is in the bottom right-hand corner, and it is a red circle with a microphone. Click on it and leave us a voice message.
All right, well, let's go on to question number 3 and 4. I tell you what, I'll handle number 3 if you'll take number 4.
Of course.
All right. I've got a pretty good one for number 3, and it might require a little bit of... it's going to require 2 things.
Okay.
First thing it's going to require is to forget how stupid people are and just kind of let that go.
Oh, boy.
And then the second one is actually, you'll have to, think about it to answer.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not good at the outset because the question is posed as a comment with a question mark.
Oh, splendid.
So here's the question, quote unquote. I'm a Christian, but I can't help but worship Britney Spears? Question mark. So not a question, but anyway. So she explains, thankfully, because that would have been a very difficult one.
Yeah.
She says, I was born and raised in a Christian home and was always taught that Jesus died on the cross for our sins and he's the only way to spiritual fulfillment and happiness. But lately, I've been noticing that Britney Spears actually fulfills my spiritual needs. I think that she might actually be the real Jesus. I think the Bible had the wrong guy when they said Jesus is the Son of God. I believe it might actually be Britney Spears. Everything she does makes me happy and I just can't get enough of her. When I see her in concert in the flesh in front of me, I imagine that must be what it feels like to actually lay my eyes on God himself. Well, herself in Britney's case.
Oh, my.
Anyway, am I wrong for thinking this or has anyone else noticed that Britney Spears is actually God? So at least she ends on a question.
Oh, my goodness.
So not only is Alanis Morissette God, but apparently Britney Spears is God too.
I don't know.
Okay, so the answer to the question is yes, you are wrong.
You are.
Definitely yes.
Wrong.
However,
terribly wrong.
Of all the people you could pick that could possibly be Jesus,
why Britney Spears?
Like really?
I mean, for real, bro?
If this was 1998,
before the psychotic break,
before the crazy years,
before the shaved head.
I mean, at least I could kind of sort of see where you're coming from at that point. But now, this was only asked 3 years ago.
Ugh. So it's well past the crazy era.
Yeah.
So I mean, for sure, and I hadn't studied the Bible in a long time, so don't quote me on this one. But I'm pretty sure that there's a commandment that says, "Thou shalt not have false idols."
Yeah, but what if the person saying "Thou shalt have no gods before me" is actually Britney Spears?
So it's not technically a false idol; it is the idol.
That's right.
The American Idol.
That joke would have been amazing. This would have been Kelly Clarkson. I mean, that would have been perfect.
No, she has what we like to call in the industry a stage 5 clinger who shows cases of love knife.
What the heck are you talking about, bro?
So love knife. She loves him so much she'll kill him.
That's hilarious.
And then she's just a stage 5 clinger, like swim fan level stage 5 clinger.
Wow. I have no idea the vocabulary that you're using.
That's okay. I've got papers on the wall that that dictate I'm allowed to talk like this because I know what I'm talking about.
You got MDs and PhDs and BS and BAs, all kinds of stuff behind that name of yours.
Yep. Lots of BSs. Lots of BSs.
Yep. Years in the making. I do like what she says. When I see her in concert, I imagine it's what it must feel like to actually lay my eyes on God himself. I love that. It's hilarious.
I mean, she put some thought into the writing.
No doubt. No, I give her props for that.
But no.
Okay.
I mean, I would be really upset if, come to find out, Britney Spears is the new Jesus.
Maybe she's the Antichrist.
Oh, could be.
Maybe Britney's. Hey, hashtag Britney Spears is the Antichrist.
Don't know that we want to start that one.
That's going on the Facebook page for sure. What if Britney Spears is the one who wrote this question? What if she's the one who submitted it? It'd be kind of a "hit me, baby, one more time," jest.
She's just trying to spark a new career run.
That's possible.
Hey, I've heard of stupider.
Yeah. Well, yes, me too.
Especially like the Kardashians or whatnot. Whenever their ratings and whatnot started getting a little bit lower,
Of course.
they would hire somebody to like another minor celebrity to like hang out with them and make kissy pictures, and then they would hire the paparazzi to take pictures of them doing all this stage stuff just so they could hit tabloids and then increase their ratings.
Yeah, it's all a game.
Yeah, it really is. So, I mean, not too far-fetched.
All right. Well, from a pastoral point of view, if you believe this truly, you just go on, do your thing.
You
lady.
need some Jesus.
You
Now,
probably
pop
need
in toxicity and get to.
I'm surprised you know what that is.
So pop in some toxicity and get to reviving.
Oh, man. And if that fails, you can always get you some L. Ron Hubbards.
Get the L. Ron Hubbards. First and foremost, you want the L. Ron Hubbards and your $20 for live ship.
It only costs you $20 a month.
I mean, we won't even judge you.
I mean,
hell, you can bring the CDs with you. We'll jam with you.
Yeah, I'll listen to some Britney Spears pre-2001.
Not fair.
Yeah.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
All right, question number 4.
Question number 4. Now, this one.
Now, wait. It's the last question, and we need to end on a banger because I felt like question number 3 kind of drug us down a little bit.
All right. Well, this is one that I have debated on giving to you as a thinky blinder.
Okay, interesting.
It's a good one. This is coming in from Jim, and Jim wants to know, why didn't any organisms evolve wheels? So
Now, wait a minute. My initial response was to laugh,
and then you think
and
about
my
it,
immediate second response was, wait a second.
you had to thinky it.
That's a good question.
No, right? You see, this herein lies my dilemma: is should I have done it as a 4 questions?
I don't know.
A thinky blinder.
I'm going to say I appreciate you not doing it as a thinky because I'd probably sit here and think about it for 20 minutes before I answered. We'd have to edit all that out.
Yeah.
It'd become a big old thing.
Sure.
Well, I will say, of all the animals that could have wheels instead of legs or appendages, I think I'd go with the duck. What if the duck had, like, instead of little legs that paddled, what if they had, like, float wheels?
With those big old treads?
Yeah, so they could run on land.
Just like paddle wheels?
Yeah, so they go from land to liquid real fast, and like
They're an amphibious vehicle.
just keep on trucking. You know, whether they're on land or they're on water,
Just
man.
keep
They're
on ducking.
Keep on ducking. Hashtag duck on, man.
That's a new shirt idea.
A duck with floaty
some big
wheels.
old-
It's
Big
like
old
pontoon
butt
wheels with the little flaps on them.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's genius.
Keep on ducking.
Keep on ducking. Hashtag duck on. All right, so that's an idea. Now they'd have to be floatable,
Sure.
okay? And I can't think of another animal that would need or involve wheels,
I mean,
because it has to be an evolutionary purpose
you gotta
to
think
the
of
wheel.
like the fastest animal is the cheetah. The fastest land animal is the cheetah. Do you imagine that little sucker running around and he's got like tank treads that are made of he's just got two big ass rolls of bologna.
Rolls of bologna?
just two big bologna logs, one in the front, one in the back.
Oh, dang.
It just uses them tank treads. Just, I mean, he's got it in built-in turbo already.
Right.
So I mean that'd be fun. Plus, I mean, if you look at it that way too, you got stickers out there.
Yeah, just
In the
roll
Sahara.
right over
You just
them.
roll right over it, man.
No problem.
You don't have to worry about flat tires. You don't got to worry about picking them out your toes.
Right? It's mostly flat out there on grass.
know.
Don't have to worry about terrain or anything like that. Now, if humans evolved wheels, I think we'd have to evolve like that 3-wheel system the Segways have. They can climb
They climb
stairs.
stairs.
You'd have to have that one.
Again, a 3 little trifecta of bologna rolls. you get a 2 stacks of bologna rolls on the bottom and then 1 stack on the top.
Oh, you know what would even be better? If you were a baller, you could get the bologna rolls that have the clown face in it. Like the clown face bologna rolls. And if you're a meth dealer, you get the ones with the
pimento?
olives. Yeah.
Baller on a budget.
Yeah. They see me rolling. Has a whole new context. Okay, so evolutionary speaking, anyway, I think I know the reason we haven't evolved to wheels instead of appendages.
Okay.
There's no drive shaft.
I mean,
There's no gears.
I got a drive shaft.
Yeah, but it only has one setting.
And it's not very long, so
It's less of a
unless
drive
it evolved
shaft.
It's
It's less. It definitely didn't do that.
I mean, it could. You don't know.
It's less of a drive shaft and more of like a bottle rocket. It's kind of like, and that's it. Over and done with.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can't, in all seriousness, if we're going to evolve something like that, I feel like it'd have to be something that is in the water, not on land. You got terrain you got to deal with on land. Even if you live in West Texas where everything's super flat, you still got terrain to deal with.
Sure.
And I think, you know what? I do know of a creature that has wheels.
Ooh.
R2D2.
Well, but that's a robot. And he's got tracks.
Yeah, but he's got a soul, man.
Well, inside the robot, there's an
a little
LP in
person.
there.
He had wheels, and he totally got stuck a couple times.
Yeah, quite a bit.
All right, so I'm going to go with duck.
You're going to go with duck.
I'm going to go with the duck is the one. Now, the question is, why haven't?
Right.
It's not practical, and there's no drive shaft.
Not practical, no drive shaft. I
Yep.
think that is a solid answer. However, if it were to come to the point where we needed to and we could evolve to have wheels, you're going to go for the duck.
Yep, I like it.
The duck.
An amphibious being.
Yeah.
Is it amphibious?
Yeah. Amphibious is land and water.
Oh, amphibious is just water, right?
No, both.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So that's what it is. So amphibious fowl.
Amphibious fowl.
Yep,
I like it.
duck on.
Feels like a movie.
Yeah, it does.
Amphibious fowl.
All right. Well, I feel like we have adequately answered all of those questions.
Keep on ducking.
And we have given more to the world than we've taken at this point.
Yes, we are crushing it.
Well, let's get on into our Cinemize section. But before we do, let's take a moment to hear from our sponsors and affiliates.
Let's face it, man. That rambunctious stench that's been ruminating in your boxer shorts for most of the day isn't something to be proud of. And historically, that particular sweaty unpleasantness has just been a living hallmark of the hardworking man you are. Hi, I'm Beezy the Heathen, and this sad, sweaty sack next to me is Pastor Pinewood.
Hi.
And I gotta say, buddy, you smell like what crawls from a dead skunk's ass in summer. Now, I have already discovered the key to maintaining a glorious smelling undercarriage that, regardless of the rigors and toils of a strenuous workday, keeps me fresh and confident for hours. It's like 1,000 sweet smelling angels are gingerly caressing my most delicate man bits in my darkest of times.
Man, that sounds amazing. Because usually I just silently suffer until quitting time when I can get out of my sweat-drenched underwear and remove the fully baked medicated powder biscuits that have formed in my nether regions. Beezy, I want to be like you.
Don't worry, baby bird. Old Beezy is going to show you exactly how it's done. For a limited time, you and all of our listeners have exclusive access to a one-of-a-kind company that specializes in everything to keep that funk off your junk. I'm talking, of course, about Ballsy. Go to ballwash.com and peruse their scrotal sanctifications. There's the Ball Wash Body Wash for your pits and where you sits. The Ball Guard Liquid Powder to keep those ball biscuits that you struggle with from ever baking. And my personal favorite, the Nut Rub, which keeps your family jewels looking and smelling regal. With all these products and more, there's nothing standing in the way of you smelling, looking, and feeling absolutely amazing south of your equator. Head to ballwash.com and use promo code FWTG15 at checkout. You'll get 15% off your purchase. Hurry out and get it handled today. And Pinewood, trust me on this. Your colleagues will thank you. Your wife will thank you. And maybe most important of all, you will be forever thanked by your manly spunk bunkers.
Beezy, you're absolutely right. Ballsy is amazing. I'm so glad you turned me on to them and their products.
Hey, just wait until I tell you about the shampoo and deodorant so we can tackle that hot mess you got going up on the top half. Now visit ballwash.com today and save. Hey, Pinewood, what you drinking?
Well, I felt like something a little fruity, so I got me a mango IPA.
Get that crap out of here!
Hey, bro, what the French, man?
You gotta give this cocoa cocktail a try.
What is it, a cocoa connection?
Nah, bro, come on. It's Cocoa Cocktail. It's the newest craze in the seltzer game. It's a vitamin-infused, all-natural, non-GMO, spiked, sparkling coconut water. It's literally the future of alcohol.
Come on, man. The future of alcohol, that's a little heavy-handed.
Bro, I'm telling you, even the aliens are drinking this stuff.
You mean like the space
Like
lizards?
the space lizards? Oh, dude, you know what? We should totally stock up on this for the life ship.
Ooh.
I mean, the people are going to want a sweet, tasty beverage, eh?
But we got to give the people what they want.
Gotta give them the best, bro.
Well, Hellfire, you won me over. Let me try that thing. Well, dang, son, that's delicious. I don't know why you had to use all those highfalutin, flowery words, but that key lime seltzer speaks for itself.
Well, I tell you what's even better. All of our listeners get a banging discount when they order on Cocoa Cocktail's website.
Well, shoot, man, what's that website?
That website is www.cocococktail.com. That is COCOCOCKTAIL.com. And enter promo code FWTG7 when you order an 8-pack and FWTG12 when you order a 24-pack.
Do I get that discount when I order?
I mean, so long as you use the promo codes, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Do you think Cocoa Cocktails would send me that koozie?
Yeah, that's going to be a hard no, bro.
Cocoa Cocktail is an alcoholic beverage, and you must be 21 years old to enjoy, and please drink responsibly.
Now get on them interwebs and order you some, you plumpable some bitches, and cheers to your health.
All right, Cinemize this week is a little bit different because there's not going to be a whole bunch of deliberation.
Yeah.
It's pretty short.
Yeah, that's what she said.
It really is what she said. So, Cinemize this week is, what is your favorite trilogy, but it can only be a trilogy?
Ooh.
So, no extras.
No extra. Trilogy and only trilogy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I definitely have my favorite, and I've got, I think, one that I'll mention.
Okay, yeah. I've got my favorite, and then I've got one that will be leaving my favorites list.
Oh, I know exactly which one it is, because it's going to be leaving it in what, 2 months? Christmas time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, let's start with yours.
Okay, so you can't watch a trilogy and think of trilogies without the ultimate king, Mac Daddy of all trilogies, and that's Back to the Future.
It's a good one.
1, 2, and 3,
Yep.
man.
Solid.
No more, no less.
And those movies hold up.
They do. They really do.
They have their moments of goofiness, for sure.
Sure.
They have their moments that are outdated, but as
for a
far
movie
as,
at the time.
and storyline and the acting holds up.
Pre-shaky.
Yeah, that's true.
And somehow Christopher Lloyd,
How is that guy not aged
He's-
at all?
he hit like 90 super fast. And then he has just held on to 90 for 90 years.
He's like Benjamin Button, but he never goes down in age. He just stays old.
Oh, yeah.
I
But
saw him recently in an advertisement for, I think it was Rick and Morty.
okay.
So I don't know if they're going to do a live action show or if they just did the commercial kind of like a goof, like something.
Just a gimmick.
Right.
Sure.
But he played, of course, Rick. And he played, of course, Rick's a scientist, so he has the same look.
Sure.
He looks almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
He still has the spaced out look. You know,
Yep.
it's uncanny.
Well, I tell you, I saw him in, what was that movie? It just came out. Crap. I forget the name of the movie, but anyways, excellent movie. Anyway, he's in the movie and he looks terrible. He just looks terrible. And the movie's called Nobody.
Oh, okay.
And if you've not seen it yet, I highly recommend going out and checking that one. Sorry.
Can you get it on like Prime or one of the streaming services?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
on all that stuff.
All right, so you got Back to the Future. You got any others that make your cut?
Yeah, so the other one that I mentioned that is on my trilogy list, but is leaving come Christmas time,
Okay.
is Matrix.
Yep.
Because they're coming out with number 4, so it will no longer be a trilogy, it'll be a quadrology.
Yep, that's right.
So
Quadrology, look at you.
I'm telling you, I'm throwing out the big words with soberness.
With the Latin. So I'm right there with you on those two for sure.
Yep.
So my favorite is a trilogy, but it does have a prequel, but it's not titled the same thing.
Okay.
So-
I already know where you're going with this.
So it's still a trilogy.
gross. I'm already going to say negative. I hate you.
So Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's the greatest trilogy that's ever been made. However, I'm going to throw a bone to my movie folks. Because
Okay.
if I was coming at this from if you were like having to judge a movie or be a movie connoisseur or something like that, I think the greatest in existence
For trilogies?
for a trilogy
Okay.
is The Godfather.
Yeah, first two,
So
really good.
what's crazy, the first one's great. The second one's amazing.
Yeah.
And the third
just-
one
just
craps the bed.
Garbage, man.
The third one's pretty rough for sure.
And that is the general consensus
Yeah.
just across the board.
Yep. And if you just go in blind and you watch all three in one sitting, the third movie is literally like they adopted it and it doesn't fit in the family. It's like,
Exactly.
what happened? Pacino looks crazy in
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah.
He literally goes from early Pacino to what the hell happened in between the second and the third movie.
He goes, what is that stupid movie?
Any Given Sunday?
No, it's the one where he says, hoo-ah.
I thought that was Any Given Sunday. No, it's not
no.
Any Given Sunday.
I keep wanting to say Pretty Woman, but that's not it.
No. Anyway, somebody will have to correct us or we'll have to look it up later. But
Yep.
man, I think those two are so good.
Scent of a Woman.
It may be.
I think so.
Okay.
Hoo-ah.
Now, I will say Devil's Advocate is probably my favorite movie of his. It's so good. It's so incredibly good because he portrays the devil.
Yeah.
He portrays the devil not in little red spandex tights and a pitchfork, but as the devil really would be.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. Anyway, so I think those two for sure. I'm going to throw in the Dark Knight trilogy. Is great. It's 3 movies, and I think they complement each other well. And good cast. I thought they were pretty well done.
I mean, I guess, but if you're gonna do that one, then I'm gonna do Iron Man.
Yeah, and Iron Man technically is a trilogy.
It is,
Even though he shows up in like 13 other movies.
right.
Kind of sad they killed him off because I really dig his character.
He comes back. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. He did say not too long. I think it was before the last Avengers. He's like, I'm tired of this role. Like I'm done.
I mean, how could you be tired with that role?
I mean, you do something 15,000 times over and over and over again for years. I mean, it doesn't matter how much. Well, maybe it matters a little bit how much money you get.
As long as that money's rolling in, I'm still. You mean I still get to make this amount of money?
Yeah.
God, I guess I'll keep doing it.
One trilogy. So The Matrix and another group of movies is not a trilogy anymore. Pirates of the Caribbean. I think both of those movie franchises could have stopped with one movie.
Yeah.
I think both of those franchises, the first movie could have stood on its own and they could have stopped and it would have been just as good, if not better.
But it's Disney, bro.
I know.
Disney's got to beat that dead horse.
And they are, man.
And they will.
Yep. Continued over and over and over again. And we keep showing up for it over and over and over again.
Yep. It's crazy. We keep putting out these garbage movies and they're paying to see it. Send out another one.
Hey, Spielberg, get in here. Let's get this done.
We got an idea. We'll run this past you. Pirates of the Caribbean
It's like,
on ice.
On ice.
In space.
Ice space.
No. We're going to do this on IMAX. and we're going to film it all in space. So this is going to be the biggest budget movie we've ever done. However, I think we're going to make a couple billion off of it.
Sir, Johnny Depp died 2 years ago.
That's okay. We can reanimate him. Yeah, have you seen our animation team?
No, in Disney, they'd be like, dig him up.
We can use this.
We'll weekend at Bernie's and we'll make it happen.
No, they've got so many. There's so much money they dump into that art group that they can just draw him. And
Yeah,
be
that's
fine.
true. Imagine
CGI is insane.
if we're not there yet, imagine how much money they're spending trying to keep Johnny Depp alive. Like, bro,
He's living on an iron lung now. I mean, come on, guys.
he's been in the Mayo Clinic for the last 6 years. All right, let's get out of Cinemize this week. I'd love to hear from you guys on your favorite trilogy. We kind of mentioned all the good ones. I can't think of another good one. There's some other ones sprinkled in there, but I'm pretty sure we got it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
All right, I would be surprised if you could enlighten us on anything better because we're awesome, but feel free to send us your recommendations on
And
your
good
favorite
luck.
trilogy. And let's go right into Thinky Blinders.
All right. Thank you, blindness.
All right, just a reminder on 4 questions for all of our episodes. We kind of talk about it a little bit beforehand. We know those questions going into Thinky Blinders. It's just that. It's blind to each one of us. Oh, BZ,
Oktoberfest coming up to you.
I'll edit that. Oh, BZ, he thinks of a question for me. I have to answer it blindly and vice versa. And I will go first this week. Now, BZ and I we're married. And so a lot of
Not
time,
together.
Definitely not together. Sorry the way that sounded. BZ and I have wives.
Yes.
And sometimes we're forced to watch things we don't enjoy.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes we end up enjoying those things more than we thought we would.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's the same in your household, but in mine, it is eating shows,
Yeah.
not eating shows.
Cooking.
In my house, it's cooking shows.
Culinary arts.
Culinary. And by the way, okay, soapbox time.
Okay.
It's not culinary.
It's culinary.
It's culinary.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
literally nobody pronounces it correctly with the exception of like 3 people.
Hey, I'm one of those 3.
Beezy's one of those 3. He's not even a freaking cook. Gordon Ramsay sits up there and says culinary all the time in his stupid British accent. It's not pronounced culinary. It's culinary.
Culinary.
Oh, good gracious. Okay, anyway. So we like cooking shows.
Yes.
I know you like cooking shows.
Yes.
And even though I don't want to like them, I do. They're fun.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I like to see Gordon Ramsay call people donuts. I don't know. It's fantastic.
You muppet. It's
good.
not even cooked, you donut.
The wife likes to watch the little kids, like the MasterChef Junior. But
Boo.
he's so nice.
I know,
It
it's not
ruins
fun.
it. It's not as enjoyable. All right, so here's your question. If you were forced to only eat one country's cuisine for the rest of your life, no fusion.
Okay.
So one country's home cuisine, what country would you choose and why?
Oh, that's a hard one. I mean, instantly I thought Mexican.
Yeah. Mexican's so versatile.
Yeah, it really is.
So much to it.
But there's only a couple of things I like with it.
Okay, well that limits you.
So then I drifted over to Italian
Yep.
because man, I will murder some pizza
Yeah.
and
for
I
sure.
will destroy some pasta.
Yep.
So I think I'm probably gonna go Italian
Okay.
because of the fact of pizza and pasta, and those two things right there. Now, granted, I'd heard somewhere that pizza was kind of invented by America,
Yeah.
but I'm still lumping that into the Italian cuisine.
Right. So the way I understand, and I could definitely be wrong here, but I think it was created in America by Italians. So the Italians in
So still Italian.
New York, Chicago, immigrants
Sure.
created it.
Sure.
But still made up with Italian ingredients.
Okay.
So I'll give you that one.
All right, then Italian.
All right.
Hands down.
So if pizza's on the menu, you're going Italian.
Pizza, and see that I cook pizzas. Shoot, we do the pizza oven with the smoker, and we do that every month or two.
Okay.
We'll smoke pizzas, and dude, it's amazing. I love
tasty.
pizzas, and the pastas. I'm not a huge fan of the tomato paste,
Okay.
but they've got Alfredo
All right.
and pesto.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Some good stuff.
I'm golden there too.
All right. Good wine, good cheese,
Great wine, even better cheese.
wonderful bread.
Oh, don't even get me started. on
Yeah.
breads.
Okay. All right. So Italian's pretty solid
Yeah.
for sure. All right. So you're going to be comfortably there,
Oh yeah.
even if you had to give up everything else.
Oh yeah. Hands down.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Or unless I can do a caveat.
Oh, it's stealing old Pinewood Thunder?
Yeah. I'm gonna do American
Well, I was going to go right there.
because I can do all of it.
Yep. American's definitely the blending of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cop-out answer.
Yeah.
So that's definitely where I was going.
of course it was.
I was going one less than the immediate cop-out answer. I
Okay.
was going to go with French cuisine because French cuisine is kind of the standard for everything else. And French cuisine encompasses almost every other style of cooking.
This is
Maybe not style, but ingredient.
This is my French-inspired cheeseburger.
It's basically a cheeseburger. You just got to hold up your pinkies whenever you eat it.
And you got to have a nice glass of Chianti.
This is my French-inspired Budweiser. You just got to hold up your pinky when you drink it.
And you have to drink it from a snifter.
Don't you dare slurp either. You got to have all your forks and spoons lined up correctly. Yeah,
Oh, that's hilarious.
that's pretty good.
I like that one.
All right,
That's
so
a good question.
Italian and French and American because we can throw everything in it.
Just the melting pot.
It's a win-win-win.
Win-win-win.
It's a
I love
melting
it.
pot of every food.
of cuisine. Yes.
All right, man. That's what we're serving on the life ship is American.
American food.
Yep.
With French inspiration and Italian inspiration.
You know, it would be a really bad twist of events. We served American food exclusively on the life ship, which means we can have every food known to mankind, right? But
Okay.
then what if the aliens, the space lizards, what if they have a food that is so incredibly amazing and we've limited ourselves
Just to American.
just to American food, just to Earth food?
Here's the best part about that. We make it our own.
Oh, we just put it
Throw
in the pot.
melting pot, bro. Take some of that alien space goop. Boom, bingo, bango.
Put a little American cheese on there.
Sprinkle some
our own.
Parmesan. You got the Italian side of things.
It's the space lizard mix.
Yeah, it's Space Mex.
It's space mix. It's the text lizard. Yes. All right. I'll take one for the road.
I love it.
All right. What you got for me, son?
Okay. Name something that a lot of people like, but you just can't stand?
Americans.
I don't even think a lot of people like Americans other than Americans.
I was going to say Americans do. There's about 350 million of them.
Yeah,
Everybody
which
else
is still
can't-
pretty small on the
Everybody
scale.
else can't stand us. I'm not a super picky person, and getting away from food or things we consume that way, I would say something I really don't like is modern music.
Okay.
Like music that people really dig and enjoy, even like the last 30 years. Like I just don't like it, and I don't have any modern musicians that I really follow that much.
Fair enough.
It's just not something in my wheelhouse. If I'm
I agree with you on that
If
one.
I'm going to put something in to listen to, it's probably from 1989 or before. Well, let me say 1991 or before, because Thunderstruck came out in 91.
But you've also got the new album that just came out.
Yeah, but it's not anywhere close to Thunderstruck.
Well, that's true.
But anyway, so I just can't think of any like modern hits that I really enjoy.
Right.
There's some I enjoy listening to just kind of as a one-off because they're catchy.
Sure.
But as far as following a music trend or being into a new genre or whatever it is, it's not my thing.
So music is
Modern music.
Modern music.
Yep.
Interesting.
I'm good all the way back to like 1200 in some music categories.
I'm right there with you.
But
That's funny because whenever I put if I happen to be listening to music and I go into my Samsung Music and I just hit shuffle,
yep.
it is a
crapshoot, isn't it?
smorgasbord
Yep.
of what we're gonna get, because we may be bumping to some "Move Bitch Get Out the Way" from Ludacris. Very next song is gonna be some "Crash Into Me" by Dave Matthews.
Nice.
And then we're gonna do a little Moonlight Sonata from Beethoven. And then we're gonna have probably 2 or 3 little quick snippets of comedians. I mean,
Kind of runs the gamut.
it runs the gamut.
Yep. So I'm definitely right there.
Okay.
Right there for show.
I didn't even think about that, but that's a good answer, man.
That's where I'm going with that.
I like it.
I'm sticking to it, son.
I will allow you to.
I was going to say religions, but the new L. Ron Hubbard religion.
The L. Ron Hubbard's is
tickling my ears, son. All right, let's get out of Thinky Blinders. Let's go into
You didn't even want to hear mine?
Oh, I guess I didn't.
That's
I
just
didn't.
rude.
I apologize.
That's rude.
I thought we were. You had said the same stuff about music, and
I mean,
then-
I was just agreeing with you. My
fair.
answer is penis. I just don't like it.
only 40,
lot of people
45%.
A lot of people like it. I don't care too much for it, other than my own.
Wow. On that note, let's get out of Thinky Blinders. I'm really regretting allowing you to answer.
Oh, let's hit the updates and thanks.
All right, let's do it.
We got some news updates for you here. Okay. So for updates, like we said in the beginning, we've got some pretty good ones coming in. We've got some listener submits, so this is exciting. The first one is coming in from Gwen. She emailed this to us. And for those of you who don't know, Gwen's my stepmother. She's an awesome lady, and she's the one that runs the Prairie Blossom Indoor-Outdoor Market, FM 179, 13105. Go check those guys out.
Our very first sponsor.
Yeah,
as a
very
matter of
first
fact.
sponsor.
We're still waiting on that check, but
I mean, we
it
haven't got that yet.
Was the first sponsor,
So
at least in theory,
it'll wash.
allegedly.
Allegedly. So her email is referring back to the one of the questions we had about, I think it was the Thinky Blinder. I asked you about what your parents told you that just shocked you.
Right.
And
right.
she's got 2 of them, which is awesome. One from her mother, one from her father.
Okay, nice.
So her dad said that when he was growing up, they stuffed hay and papers in between the outside wall and the chicken wire for insulation to keep the house warm in the winter.
Dang, son.
He was born in 29.
Wow.
So,
Wow. So that memory would have came from like the late 30s.
Yeah.
Wow, so less than 100 years ago, people putting junk on their walls to keep the house warm.
Just to keep the house warm.
Dang,
Because, there
crazy.
wasn't modern insulation.
Of course, yeah, or even old school insulation. Apparently, it was hay.
Just hay and papers.
That's bananas.
Of course, nowadays it wouldn't be that hard because we get so much junk mail shit. I'd gladly fill my wall. You know, matter of fact, that's what I might start doing is
That's the new
taking
company?
that and just grinding all that crap up. And whenever we redo the doghouse for the studio,
Be junk mail.
we're gonna call it junk mail.
The junk wall. The junk mail wall.
The junk shop.
The junk shop.
Anyway, so the second part of it, she says, my mama said that when she was growing up, she would poke a tarantula with a stick.
Was she Steve Irwin?
Crocky. It gets even better.
Okay.
Hang on.
All right.
They would poke a tarantula with a stick, and whoever got it to jump the furthest got to take the bath first, because back then they had to share bath water. She was born
Wow.
in 32. That's Nainer.
Dang, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's wild. Can you imagine that?
Can you imagine thinking in your head all day? Like you go to school and you're like, look, I can't sit in the bathwater after Patrick dips his nasty balls in there one more time.
Ballsy is still 100 years from development.
So what I've got to do, I got to figure out a way to make this tarantula jump the furthest so I can be the first one in the bath. Can you imagine that going through your head
Just your
during
psyche.
the day?
I tell you what. This is the pussification of where we're at now.
Yeah, that's for dang
This
sure.
generation is because they got all these arachnophobias and all sorts of phobias. It's because they didn't have to poke a tarantula in the asshole to get it to jump, so they could take a bath first.
And you know, you might think like right on the outset, it was like, well, how it's not expensive to draw a bath, right? But
Then it was.
it wasn't necessarily expensive, but think of the effort it would take just to heat water.
Sure.
So you got mama in the kitchen at 3:30 heating water for your 5 o'clock bath or 6 o'clock bath or whatever it was. She ain't going to do that 4 or 5 times.
Oh, no.
They didn't have any birth control, so she's got 18 kids.
Sure.
So one and done, baby.
One and done.
You better be fast.
Y'all figure out a way to figure out the lineup. That's on you. I'm just preparing the waters.
Man, and it'd be like Russian roulette every single day. You'd be like, okay, what do we do? Well, let's put the youngest in first. The youngest arguably would be the cleanest, right? But you
would think.
But you're taking a gamble because if you put the little one in first, what if he poops in the tub? And then you got poop water all 17 after that.
I think I'm just going to skip bath this week, man.
I'll take a redneck shower in the back or something. I don't know. Just get an old
How
rag.
many more years till Axe shows up?
We need a water heater.
Hit the pits and where it sits, and that'd be good.
Man, son. And possibly, depending on where they grew up, maybe not even had running water.
Yeah, that's very true.
Somebody had to go down,
Very true.
dip
Hit
the
the
water.
well.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, even
Crazy.
well, like pumping.
Yeah.
You got to pump the water.
Yep.
You got to bring it in the house. You got to heat it.
Yep.
And then you got to dump it.
You got to cut the firewood to heat the water
Yep.
or bring in coal or whatever you're going to do.
Yep.
Rough, man. So there's a show, you watch Kristen Joanna Gaines with the wife, right?
No.
Okay, so I do. It's not bad. Well, there's a guy on their show. Well, they launched their own network not too long ago, a couple months ago. Well, there's a guy that he specializes in original timber framing, and he goes to like the Northeast where these old buildings are.
Sure.
And they take down these barns and they bring it back to Texas to revamp them.
Right.
A couple of episodes, he's got houses from like the late 1700s, early 1800s.
Oh, dang.
Well, when they tear them down or they deconstruct them, on the walls and on the floors, they always find old newspaper, straw, and some sort of like old matting material to fill in the gaps of the boards.
To keep the
Yep, the updraft.
drift.
And probably on the walls too.
Sure.
The original walls in America were made out of Dobble and Wob, or Wob and Dobble, something like that.
You better watch your mouth.
That's what it's called.
Thank you for cleaning it
What
up
it's
for
called.
this episode.
That's what it's called. I'm just leaving that in there. But that was the whole reason, because they could have insulation on the sides. You come down to this area where you don't have that kind of mud, so you got to make it out of boards, no insulation. So what do? Well, you use whatever you got,
Right.
which is straw, because that's a wheat byproduct. If you're harvesting wheat, you can't do anything with it. I mean, just the utility of it all speaks to something we can't possibly comprehend today.
Sure.
'Cause we don't keep anything.
No, we don't. Throw it away.
Television goes out after 5 years. You just throw it away.
Sure.
And you go to the Best Buy and you get you another
Get another
television.
one.
And it'll last 5 years.
Yeah.
There's televisions floating around from 1968 that still ain't gone out.
That's still working.
I've got a refrigerator from 1972 that my grandmother gave me, and it's still going strong.
Oh, yeah. Them old ones, they just don't build them like they used to.
No, that thing will outlast me and the cockroaches.
Sure.
So, I don't know, man. Just different times.
Oh, yeah.
And we are weak. We are weak species. And,
We are getting weaker.
Yep. Hopefully we learn some skills or something. All right. So thank you very much for that question, Gwen.
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
That was an awesome question.
Yep. I would be very curious to hear her parents' stories.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
even
there've
a
been some good
generation
ones.
before that.
Yeah.
What are you dealing with then? Oh, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah. And not that long ago.
No, literally just less than a generation.
Yeah.
My dad and I were talking not too long ago about his school in elementary. They didn't even have air conditioning.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
Bananas.
What's even funnier is so Andy, who's the GM for Buffalo Nickel, we were talking at Buffalo Nickel when we recorded 35
Right.
about when we all went to band camp at WT.
Oh, yes. That's
and
right.
Everything now has central heating and air.
Yep.
Hell no, we didn't.
We had a fan in the window,
We
bro.
were the panhandle summer.
Yeah.
You had to stick a fan in there, and it was 9,000 degrees in your dorm.
It was brutal.
Yeah,
It was
and then
brutal.
You're expected to be up at 8:00 in the morning.
That's right.
and tooting on your horns.
And when we went even to college,
yeah, it was the same way.
same
then.
way. The first 2 years we were in college, they did not have air conditioning.
Yep.
Can you imagine if you sent a grade school kid to school today and they didn't have air conditioning in the school?
Oh yeah.
Parents would lose their minds.
lose their.
They'd be
freaking Lord.
strung up for child abuse.
Oh yeah.
For putting kids in a building with no air conditioning. One generation.
I'm telling you,
Whoa. All right. Soft, suckers.
good thing to think about.
All right. We got an email from Nicole, and she is calling us to task. And she kind of, well, not really, both of us, because she saw through our nonsense.
I was a little drunk.
That's fair, but it's still true.
All right.
Because she doesn't say it outright, but she makes the case that we didn't go back and watch the movie before discussing it, and that's true.
Yeah,
I did not. I didn't mean to.
I
but
hit the cliff notes.
I didn't get it done. So anyway, so she says, now this is a little bit long, but she's talking about our episode. I think it was 41, but maybe 40.
I don't remember.
So it was the Cinemized / Pastor and the Heathen.
Yes.
Okay, so I think it was 40. But anyway, it's on the movie Gone Baby Gone. She writes, Patrick was never going to keep the child. After she was declared dead, he later found out with Morgan Freeman, who conspired with her uncle, that was and Ed Harris, and the other cop to take her that night, and Morgan Freeman's character and his wife were going to raise her. When he finds her in the inn with them, his girlfriend is trying to convince him just to walk away and to leave her there. So that was a conundrum, not what we were talking about. It's kind of sort of the same principle, but we were still wrong about it. Key moment in the movie is after the whole stage drowning of the little girl. I forgot all about that. And framing a convicted felon for it when they raided his house and another kidnapped child was dead. There is a point when the police and everyone has left the room for a moment and it's just Casey Affleck and the pedophile, and he's so angry and he shoots him in the back of the head. Afterwards, he feels extremely guilty. He feels his vigilante justice is not the way, and he shouldn't have taken justice into his own hands. He's not a cop, he's a PI, but he's remorseful and he carries the regret until the end of the movie. Beginning of the movie, Casey probably would have walked away and let the little girl where she was. Vigilante but remorseful Casey did not want to, in his eyes, made the same mistake again, so he called the police and had Morgan arrested. He says something to his girlfriend along the lines of not wanting to run into the little girl years later when she's an adult, and she tells him, I was kidnapped and you did nothing. You helped take me from my mother. Gone Baby Gone is actually a book, and there's a sequel. I could be wrong because it's been a long time since I've read it, but I believe he actually ends up regretting his decision because he actually does run into her again when she's 16. She's angry and 100% resents him for not just walking away in the end. What do you do? She says, I don't know. I'm conflicted. I feel either choice leaves me with a moral dilemma. That's kind of the point of the movie. On one hand, Pinewood and Casey are right. If you can't just go around kidnapping children, even if it's for their own good and taking the law into your own hands. The mom seems to regret her behavior and maybe having her child kidnapped and thinking she was dead woke her up and she'll be better. I believe that's what Casey is hoping for. On the other hand, there's plenty of cases where just calling CPS or calling the police does no good and the child ends up dead or severely abused and neglected. So she goes on to kind of talk about how she feels about that. She ends with, all that being said, I hadn't thought of the easiest solution, which you just did, just shoot the mom. I guess we're in agreement there. So there is that. Very good point. My mom was a social worker for years.
Yes.
She just retired, and that was probably her biggest complaint with the whole system is you give every possible advantage to the parents, and very rarely
Do they follow through?
they almost always fall away, and they go right back to meth or whatever. It's almost always meth, but
Well, I mean, let's be honest.
yeah, it's just so I get it.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. So around here, you know how crack cocaine was the black man's drug in the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
Meth is the white man's drug today.
Oh, yeah.
And it's destroying folks. So
Oh, sure it is.
anyway, really good question and great email.
Well, here's the other thing, too. I think the movie that me and you kind of put together, we should probably make that movie.
Oh, that's a better movie anyway.
I mean, it's going to be a good movie.
If we got Morgan Freeman to do that with us,
And Casey?
yeah, well, nah.
I mean, I'll play Casey's part. Don't
Okay,
worry.
you can play that
I'll
part.
handle that one.
We'll get Matt Damon in here. He can do something.
So, I mean, there's our $1 million idea for this episode.
All right.
So we should just recreate Gone Baby Gone with the movie that we thought we were
Perfect.
reviewing.
Well, let's end up with this update segment with our call in for the day from
Yes.
our, almost said the producer, not the producer,
Not the
from
producer.
our merch
Mogul.
mogul, which she has taken the persona of so much where she introduces herself.
I know. It's
I love it.
phenomenal.
That's great.
So here she goes.
Hey guys, Merch Mogul here. Just finished listening to episode 41 while I was cooking breakfast and dying laughing. So I need to know what the hell BZ was drinking during that podcast to get him the way he was. And two, he also said that nobody likes cats or everybody hates cats, whatever he said, and that is so not true. We have 3 cats, and just based off their names alone, they could bring you joy. It's Cupcake, Sprinkles, and our new one, Cheeto. And they're awesome, okay?
Cheeto.
Cheeto
that is
the
all.
cat.
Thanks.
I mean, to be fair, I was a little drunk.
All right, let's deal with the first question.
Okay.
So if you didn't listen, you need to go back and listen. Beezy is coherent, intelligent, and well, as intelligent as he is normally.
Yeah, I mean, just typical intelligence.
He's bringing everything Beezy brings to the table up until about halfway through the Cinemize segment.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like this quick descent into some sort of stupor that I can't even describe. It was so bad when we recorded. I was so frustrated that we left, and I didn't talk to you for a couple days.
Yep.
And I called you, and I was like, hey, we need to re-record something.
Mm-hmm.
So what we were going to do was we were going to give a little bit of a montage to Norm McDonald, not Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond didn't die. Everybody calm down. Neil
Yeah,
Diamond's
hang on.
fine. He's fine.
Hang on. He's
Norm
good.
McDonald passed away. We're going to do something for him. But then I started editing everything together, and it was so funny to me. I
Yeah.
was like, nope,
Yeah, stay
we're
in
leaving
it.
it. And I thought it was great. Now, the episode definitely, as the producer pointed out, definitely drags. It definitely is kind of like this weird pulling a dead horse along to the watering hole. Like it definitely drags. But now, correct me if I'm wrong. Here's what happened. We don't drink when we record the episode.
Correct.
We have a beer, and if that beer isn't doing it, we typically have a sip of
sipper.
beer on the side. So we got cigars. We usually have 2 beers, and that's what we do.
Correct.
Beezy did a little bit more than that in the episode.
Yeah.
And then he grabs a large beer bottle, which I
Yeah.
think is a 32 ouncer. Is that right?
I don't even remember.
It's from Eccentric.
it
one of
was
the bigger
the
bottles.
it was the FMJ.
But it's 11%.
Yeah.
And we're getting close to the end of the episode, so Beezy's just going hard.
I'm going like it's going out of style.
And it didn't even creep up on you. I mean, it was like a bag of bricks.
It hit and it hit freaking hard.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, I didn't even realize it. I had no idea that it had hit me like that.
From my end, looking from sober to not sober.
Just the devolution.
And it was so fast. It was like, we're going 90%. Now, it was late. We're both tired.
Yeah.
But it went from like the 90% to, dude, what is going on?
Did they lace that thing?
We're going to have to take you to the hospital or something. So that's what happened.
Yeah. So basically, it was a couple of high octane beers that got probably drank entirely too fast.
Pretty quick. And we made amends.
We have
Made amends, and we've
I allowed him to apologize to me.
we've corrected course going forward as far as what we're allowed to drink at the table. I say allowed. That's a bad word. I don't like that word. But anyway, I will say also, just a caveat, and I know he listens, so I'm not going to give his name, but it doesn't just happen to heathens.
No.
We went to church one Sunday, and my associate pastor at the time was like, hey, we're going to have a little dinner get-together. There's a game on at 3. We're going to eat around 5. Y'all should come over. It's like, cool. So we go over about 4:30. I show up, and he's tanked.
Blasted.
And to the point where...
Good on him.
So I can't understand really what he's saying. Like, and not a jolly tanked. Like, whoa, what is going on?
Like a rude tank.
5 o'clock, he needs to go to the bathroom. Well, he goes upstairs. Well, he never comes down. Like, he just goes up and passes out, right?
Nice.
Well, his buddy had come over, and he had brought him some beers that were 9.5%.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's used to drinking domestics at 4.5 or 5. Well, he just, he had 4 beers, and it was like, whoa, what happened? So it happens, guys. It happens. Be careful. Read your ABVs on the beer case.
Yields.
Slow is good.
Yeah. Steady pace.
But that's what happened.
Yep.
And I still had a great night. It was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I think Old Easy got some...
I enjoyed it substantially more than you did. Till I got into the house.
Yeah. I think Beezy got in trouble from more than just me.
Yeah, I got a severe tongue lashing.
But it's over. It's done with. We're good. We're going on. We're in 42. Everybody's sober. Everything's good.
Yes. We're trying not to do that again till 52.
Okay, all right. On the cats, I don't care what the names are.
Yeah, cats.
It's just not for me.
I don't like cats.
It's acceptable if you got a barn cat or barn cats to keep the mice down. That's acceptable to me.
Or the snakes.
Yeah, any of that. If you got a cat for a practical purpose, cool. But to have cats in the house, just not for me.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a domesticated cat.
Nope, that's right. They're plotting to kill you.
Yep.
Right now.
They always are.
And if you die in your house, they're going to be eating your face.
Yep.
There's no loyalty amongst
Because they're not
felines.
vegan. For reals. They will eat your face.
They will think your face is a ham sandwich. And they will eat it.
Ham sandwich.
All right. Beezy, let's do some thank yous and let's get on out of here.
Yeah, all right, man. Well, we want to start this off thanking our sponsors and the affiliates. You guys heard the commercials for Cocoa Cocktail and for Ballsy, but we've also got, as affiliates, we've got Manly Man Company and Bottle Keeper. Check those guys out. They've got some amazing products. We also want to thank the OGs and the newbies, those that have been there from the beginning, those that have come in halfway, and those that are just now joining us. We appreciate it. Head over to the website, send us a review. That actually means more than you realize. That's kind of the lifeblood of the podcast industry.
Has something to do with algorithms.
Yeah, something a little bit smarter than me. For crunching numbers and such,
right?
To get our podcast higher up on the charts and such.
So to be smarter than Beezy, all you got to do is type one sentence into the review.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all you got to do.
And then you're good to go. And then you get to crown yourself smarter than Beezy.
We'll send you a plaque
temporarily, allegedly. And then I guess last but not least, we want to thank our wives, because this is the 42nd week in a row that we've been able to do an episode and keep your ear holes energized.
We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. We are Fraternized with These Guys. I'm Pastor Pinewood.
And I'm Beezy.
And we're going to leave you with a little ponder this.
Ponder this?
Now for this ponder this, I have not read this to you. So this is coming blind.
Okay.
And I'm
a surprise ponder.
This is a surprise ponder, and I'm looking forward to your face.
All right.
Your lips are made up of the same skin type and texture as your anus.
Oh, jeez. Can we go one episode without talking about butts?
No.
Good Lord.
Why would we do that? It's not fun.
We'll see y'all next week on episode 43.
We love you guys. Thank you.
Beezy, come here, I want you.
What? Oh my God. Sorry.
I got a thought.
Okay, it better be good.
Okay, so the question was, why do we not have wheels instead of legs, right?
Yeah. Why didn't we evolve to have wheels or
Right.
something? Yeah.
Think about this.
Okay.
Rats, gerbils, guinea pigs, they like to run on wheels.
Okay.
What if we just haven't got there?
Okay. Well.
What if we just
Oh.
have to wait until we have wheels? What if this guy that asked the question, what if he's from the future and he's making us realize that we're gonna get wheels in the future?
Maybe he's just wanting to know when we get the wheels, because he's from that far into the future where they have the wheels, and he just wants to know, when does the wheel evolution process begin?
Does your baby have legs?
She's got legs right now.
Damn. So at least one more
Well,
generation.
at least one more generation.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait.
Son of a bitch.